you know, ever since I watched, I think, Back to the Future at 5 years old when it was on video, I don't know, something woke me up to the magic of the industry, and I became obsessed with movies. And then growing up, I would go to the theaters every Monday with my grandfather. You know, my grandmother had plans, so me and my grandfather would go to the movies, whether it was something good, something bad. Saw a lot of movies. We would go to dinner, and then we would go afterwards. And that was sort of my film education. And then up through high school, I would weasel my way out of projects by doing a video instead of, you know, an essay or something like that. And so I went to Emerson College and studied film there, and out of film school I got a job as an NBC page, and then became a coordinator in comedy development at NBC, working on 30 Rock and The Office and Parks and Rec, and a little show called Community was in development there, and that's how I met the Russos.
What is community college?
College. Best years of our lives.
They're not supposed to take
Your breath away?
I love you.
I love you.
I love you, kick puncher!
That is so uninspired.
Yeah, I started as the Russos' assistant in 2010, and they had a former assistant who was possibly going to get promoted, is what she told me. So I bothered her for about 6 months, and I took her out for drinks, you know, once a month for 6 months. Just told her, I want that job, I want that job, I want that job. And so I started off as their assistant, and then on the Marvel films, I started associate producing for them, covering second unit, being their eyes and ears, and sort of quality controlling the product for them. And then when AGBO started, I came in as VP of Physical Production and have made my way up to SVP of Physical Production. I was on the set of the first Extraction, where I was on the ground producing for the company. The second unit director got sick, and he was in the hospital. And the day before, I was on the phone with Joe trying to figure out who was going to step in and direct second unit. And he was like, well, it's kind of obvious, it's got to be you. You know this movie, you've been with it for 6 months, you know Sam, like, you know what we're going for. And so I stepped in and directed a week of second unit. I'd never done that before, but it was really exciting and kind of nerve-wracking because, you know, I didn't have a map or a plan, you know, because I was coming in a little bit blind, but definitely taking a risk there. So they've always encouraged me to direct, and, you know, whether it be commercials or web series or short films or you know, second unit. But most recently, a horror film came into AGBO about 2-3 years ago that we wanted to make. So my writing directing partner and I took the script, rewrote it from the ground up, pitched it around town, found financing. The way I kind of think about a producer in like simple terms is, you know, if the director is the painter, then the producer is, you know, setting up the canvas, giving him the paints, giving him the space to paint, and, you know, making sure that it's quiet and the mood's right for them. So we're, you know, trying to surround our directors with, you know, sort of the best people in the industry, whether it be DPs we work with or production designers we work with. I gotta say, on Winter Soldier, working with, not that I got to work directly with him, but I got to watch the guys work directly with Robert Redford, and to you know, to grow up on his films and for him to be such an iconic actor and such a legend, and then to see the guys working with him, and he was a big part of that movie, was just, that was something I'll never forget.
You gotta get Iron Man to stop by my niece's birthday party.
Thank you, sir.
You know, like Joe says, you know, if you want to be a carpenter, you got to build a lot of tables. You know, if you want to be a filmmaker, you got to make a lot of films to get better at it. So those first 10, 15 years, it's like, you know, you got to hustle and you got to give yourself over to it if you want to get there. My favorite movie is Back to the Future. I do. Everybody says it, and I know it's really popular to say, but I do think it's a perfect movie. Perfectly cast, perfectly written, perfectly directed, and it's the first movie that sort of made me aware of the magic of cinema and transported me somewhere. And yeah, I can watch that movie nonstop.